Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation time. First of all, let's thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala because of His blessings we are be able to come to this presentation. Salawat and salam may always be delivered by Nabi Muhammad SAW, who has guided us from the darkness to the brightness in our lives. Okay, secondly, before we start the conversation, allow me to introduce group. Our group, which is Interactional Sociolinguistics group, or the 11th group, consists of four members. The first one is Saeful Anwar as the moderator for today's presentation. And then the second one, there is Anggia, Camila, Yasmin. And then the third one is Dzikran, Budyha, Amadan. And the last but not least is Nasywa Zaahi S.M. And then the outline for today's presentation is introduction, analysis of example, pedagogical implication, and the last one is conclusion. And before we start the presentation today, allow me to tell you all about the agendas for today's presentation. The first agenda is opening, the second agenda is presentation time, and the third agenda is closing. So without further ado, let's just start our presentation by saying Bismillah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, the next agenda is the presentation time. And the introduction part will be delivered by me. So, interactional sociolinguistics explores the intricate relationship between language, social interaction, and the broader social context. It delves into how individuals use language to construct and negotiate meaning in everyday encounters, examining the subtle cues, patterns, and conventions that shape our communication. This field offers a unique lens for understanding how social identities, power dynamics, and cultural norms influence the way we speak, listen, and interpret meaning. From casual conversations to formal presentations, interactional sociolinguistics also unveils the complexity of human interaction and the profound role language plays in shaping our social world. And then for the next part will be delivered by Anggi, Camila, Yasmin. For Anggi, please, time is yours.
All right, thank you, moderator. So, for the first material that I will deliver is about the culture and the classroom as our topic. So, as we know that students from different cultural backgrounds may use language in ways that diverge from what is expected in the classroom. For example, some cultures emphasize indirect communication and politeness strategies, while others favor directness. From for example, like students from the West and a student from the East, they might be have different kind of style in delivering their politeness. So a teacher might misinterpret a student's quietness as disagreement when it could be a cultural norm of respect. And then in multilingual classrooms, students might switch between languages or dialects depending on the social context. Teachers who are not attuned to these practices might view code switching negatively, while in reality, it reflects students' linguistic adaptability and identify negotiation. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are already done with the cultural background in classroom. So we talk about methodology for now. We use three kind of methodology. So the first one is ethnographic observation. In ethnographic observation, we tend to capture the nuances and complexities of language use in their authentic context. In this case, we use it in the classroom context. And the second one is data analysis. So method includes conversational analysis and then discourse analysis. And the last is interactional linguistics. And the last of our methodology is interpretation and theory building. The analysis leads to interpretation and the development of theoretical frameworks that explain the observed linguistics phenomena. I think that's enough from me. I'll give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Anggia, for your amazing presentation. And for the next slides will be delivered by Dzikran Amadan, and he will talk about the rationality, and the analysis. To Dzikran, please time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Saiful. The rationale of this field encourage intercultural sensitivity and understanding by highlighting the diverse ways in which teacher and their students communicate. It emphasizes the importance of recognizing and respecting different communication styles and cultural norms in the classroom. Next slide, please. The analysis, there is a dialogue, teacher and James. Teacher, James, what does this word say? Uh, James, I don't know, with finalizing intonation. Teacher interprets, I don't know, reply, James does not want to try to answer the question. Context in James African American community, rising intonations conveys the desire for encouragement. Teacher is unable to retrieve the contextualization prepositions needed to accurately interpret James' use of rising intonation in his message from. Maybe that's all from me. I give it back to Saiful.
Okay, thank you, Zikran, for your amazing presentation. And the next part will be delivered by Nasywa. Please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to the moderator for giving me the time to explain about the pedagogical implication in this interactional sociolinguistic. Okay, the first is as language teacher. Understanding how students from different linguistic and cultural backgrounds communicate helps teachers foster smoother interactions and manage turn-taking, participation, and engagement. And the second is as language student. Language students need to develop not only grammatically accuracy but also pragmatic competence, understanding the social norms and expectations surrounding language use in various contexts. And the last is wider context. At an institutional level, the implication of interactional sociolinguistics promote policies that support multilingualism, recognize language diversity, and respect students' cultural backgrounds. So that's all from me. I'll give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nasywa, for your good presentation. And the next part is the conclusion. So the conclusion for today's presentation is interactional sociolinguistics examines how language users create meaning through social interaction, emphasizing that communication is often incomplete and reliant on contextual knowledge. And then we use this approach to highlight the contextualization cues in classroom conversation and understand intercultural communication and social dynamics within language interactions between the teacher and the students. So this is the references that we used for these PowerPoint slides. And then I think we have come to the last agenda, which is closing. So um, before we close this meeting, we want to say thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Once again, thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.